Question number 37. The correct answer will receive 6 credits. Clearly indicate the necessary steps, including appropriate formulas, diagrams, graphs, charts. So basically all you have to do is to show your work to earn all 6 credits. There are 3 different parts in this question. Even if you don't know how to answer all questions, do your best and you can receive partial credit. A football player attempts to kick a football over the goalpost. Path of the football can be modeled by the function h of x, where x is the horizontal distance from the kick, and h of x is the height of the football above the ground, when both are measured in feet. On the set of x's below, graph the function y equals h of x over the interval x is between 0 and 150, or x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 150. So the second question is determine the vertex of the function h of x. Interpret the meaning of this vertex in the context of the problem. So let's take a look at the function. The highest power of x is 2. So we are dealing with the quadratic function. So the graph of the quadratic function is the parabola, and since the leading coefficient is negative, your parabola will face downward. So let's see what scale we can use on the x-axis. Your x is between 0 and 150. Let's say the ball starts from here and it goes all the way to that point. So let's make sure that we can start with 0, and the coordinates of this point are 0, 0. So when x is 0, let's plug 0 into the formula. 0 times any number is 0. So when x is 0, h of x becomes 0, 2. That's why I can start with 0, 0 point. So let's try to figure out what scale we can use on the x-axis. And I think we can go by 10. I'm not sure what scale to use on the y-axis. Let's try to read the second question. Maybe it will help us to figure it out. Determine the vertex of the function y equals to h of x. Vertex of the parabola is the highest point of the parabola in our case. Let's recall the formula for the x coordinate of the vertex. So the formula for the x coordinate of the vertex is negative b over 2a. This is the same formula as you used for the axis of symmetry, for the line of symmetry. Since the vertex belongs to the line of symmetry, we can use the same formula to find the x coordinate of the parabola. So let's try to figure out what is a and what is b. Let's go back to the formula. So if you remember, the general equation of the quadratic function is ax squared plus bx plus c. So a is negative 1 over 225. b is 2 over 3. Let me write it down. And then let's plug them into the formula. X is negative b, negative 2 over 3, over 2 times 8, 2 times negative 1 to 25. It looks kind of messy, but don't worry, we'll get through it. Negative divided by negative is positive. Let me figure out what is the result of the multiplication in the denominator. 2 times 1 over 225. Let me rewrite 2 as 2 over 1. How do I multiply fraction? I need to multiply straight across. It's going to be equal 2 over 225. So I need to divide 2 over 3 by 2 over 225. Basically, I need to divide two fractions. 2 over 3 needs to be divided by 2 over 225. I'm going to use keep, change, flip rule to complete the division. Keep, change the operation, flip the second fraction. Cancel 2's out. 225 over 3. Let's try to divide. 225 divided by 3 is 75. Easy. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 75, and the line of symmetry goes through this point. So your parabola kind of symmetrical. So you have 75 units on the left hand side. That means you're going to have another 75 on the right hand side. So basically your parabola will end up in this point, which is 0, 1, 50. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is 75. I need to figure out what is the y-coordinate of the vertex. To find the y-coordinate of the vertex, all I need to do is to plug the value of x into the formula. So let me rewrite the formula. H of x is negative 1 over 225 x squared plus 2 over 3x. And let me plug x into the formula. Negative 1 over 225, I like to use the parentheses, times my x is 75, 75 squared, plus 2 over 3 times 75. Let me use the calculator. Open the parentheses, negative 1 over divided by 225. Close the parenthesis, 75 squared, plus, let me open the parenthesis for 2 over 3, or 2 divided by 3, times 75. Press enter, and the result is 25. So the y-coordinate for x equals 75 is 25. These are coordinates of the vertex. Let me write them down here. And let me graph the vertex. 75 and 25 is highest point. Let me try to figure out. I can go by, let's say, 5 here, another 5 here, 15, 20, 25. So I decided to use this scale. So 3 squares will represent 5 units. So the ball goes up to the highest point which is 75, 25, and the units are feet, and then the ball goes down to the point of 0, 150. We found the vertex. Let's try to answer the next question. Interpret the meaning of the vertex in the context of the problem. So I would write that the vertex is the highest point, and when the ball has traveled 75 feet, the height is 25 feet, something like that. Okay, let me write it down. I don't have enough space. Let me write it in the bottom. The vertex is the highest point of the ball. So when the ball traveled 75 feet, the height is 25 feet. So I'm going to underline it, and I will try to answer my last question. The goalpost is 10 feet high and 45 yards away from the kick. Will the ball be high enough to pass over the goalpost? Justify your answer. So the goalpost is 10 feet high and 45 yards away. So now we jump to the yards. Before we were dealing with the feet. So now we need to convert 45 yards into the feet. So 45 yards is, to convert yards to the feet, I need to multiply by 3, because each yard contains 3 feet. 45 times 3 is 135 feet. When the ball 135 feet away, so 30, 35, somewhere here. How high is the ball? Will the ball be high enough to pass over the goalpost? And the goalpost is 10 feet high. Let me try to predict my answer. It seems like almost, but I cannot say exactly how it's gonna work. We need to provide a calculation. So basically what I need to do now is to find the height, or to find y when x is 135. So x is 135, or the distance from the kick is 135 feet. I need to find y, or h of x. All I need to do is to plug the number into the formula. -1 over 225 times my x is 135 squared, plus 2 over 3 times 135. So once again, we need to find how high is the ball when it's 135 feet away from the kick. I'm going to use the calculator. -1 over 225, close the parenthesis, times 135 squared. plus open the parentheses 2/3 times 135. Press enter and the answer is 9. So when the ball 135 feet away, the height will be 9. But the question was, will the ball high enough to pass over the goalpost? No. When the ball (135 feet away, the height is 9 feet. So we are done.